Hi, it's Mr. Reeves here. We've put together a revision guide for you for 2025, and I'm going to talk you through how I'd like you to use it, how I'd like to use it over the coming tutor periods, because hopefully what we want to do is get you to really organise yourself for your revision. Now, today, all I'm going to do is talk through what's at the start of the booklet and set you up for the next task that I'm going to ask you to do. So, we just start off with some tips for revision. Um, I guess the most important thing is that you are always doing something active. Never ever just sit and read your notes. You'll waste a lot of time. The other thing, I guess, about this booklet is that we should always make sure you've got an aim for the session. And by the time you've got to the end of this, hopefully that will be the case. Across on the right-hand side, we've got some ideas to make your revision more effective. The super curriculum resources that we have developed in school, I would suggest using that as much as you can. And then when I say doing something active, maybe mind maps, they can be a bit tricky, so I'm not sure about the mind maps. I like them, but you might not enjoy them. Flashcards, you all have been taught how to use flashcards, flow diagrams, timelines, some things, some subjects they're really good for, things like history. But whatever you're doing, do something that means when you're taking the information in, you're creating a resource. And ideally, you're creating a resource that you'll be able to use again next time you come to revision. Now, something I used to do was make use of my house at home. When I had to revise for GCSEs, I had information all around the house. I had things next to the bathroom mirror on little posters that I read when I brushed my teeth. I had stuff next to the toilet. Well, you can imagine when I use that. I even at home had to do the washing up, so I'd have stuff next to the kitchen sink. So basically, what I'm saying is I had things all the way around the house, which meant I could do some revision without ever having just to sit down and do revision, which obviously isn't a very enjoyable experience for anyone. So there's a bit more information on these pages here about how you might go about doing your revision, mnemonics and stories to help with memory, flashcards. There's the suggestion here that you've heard before about how to use your flashcards, testing them, putting them into two piles, one you knew, one you didn't. Following day, only test yourselves on the ones you got incorrect. And then at the end of the week, or by the time that you finish going through and you know all of them, just test yourself again. But anyway, using your flashcards and using those in a really efficient way. Another thing is summary sheets. If you're going to do summary sheets, maybe try and turn the summary sheets into posters, because your brain is going to remember pictures more easily than it is words. And so the less text you've got on there and the more pictures you have on there, the more memorable it is, and the more likely your brain is to be able to recall the information um, later when you need it. Now, most importantly, never just read. Research suggests that if you spend 10 minutes reading, you probably will waste 9 of them and have 1 minute useful. So don't just sit and read things, do something active, use your flashcards, use your memory maps, so on, like I've already said, and make sure you're not just sitting reading. The last thing I'm going to say, I think, is that you should break up your revision time. Um, Out of every 60 minutes, you want at least one 5 to 15-minute break every 60 minutes. I would say ideally work for 20 to 25 minutes, have a 5-minute break. Work for 20 to 25 minutes again, have a 5-minute break, and that will be the most effective way to use your time whilst you're revising. As I've said, mind maps. Lots of people don't like mind maps. They're quite complicated to create. Personally, they're my favourite way to revise. I have listed the rules that I follow when I use them, and I still do, even at this point in my life. I still use them when I've got to remember things, and these are the rules that I use, which I've found to be the most effective. And they're not rules I made up. They've come from people who are experts at creating mind maps that I've adopted. But these rules, if you follow these, mind maps should be more effective. Right, that brings me pretty much to the end of the introduction. Importantly, we're going to plan how you use your time, and we'll be doing that over the next few sessions. But take those sessions as seriously as you can, because what we're aiming to do, as I said, is get yourself as prepared as you can so your revision is as effective as it can be. So I will see you tomorrow, and that's it for today.